But even though, Bob, you've been out with the throat thing, you've been able to type away and write stories, and you've been firing those out. And I guess we might as well get to the horse in the room.
Dead horse.
The dead horse in the room wearing the shoe upside down. Is there any way they go after Jim Harbaugh?
Yes, they're going to. They are absolutely going to go after Harbaugh. They're going to make him say no. But, the Carolina Panthers are going to do the same thing. And they have a very, very rich owner. And they're not,
and the Nugget, and Denver, aren't they in need as well?
Yes, I was getting there. If you let me finish my sentence. Yes, and Denver, people are like, well, he's so expensive, Harbaugh. But I'm like, but Jim Irsay's worth about $4 or $5 billion, right? The Penner family's worth about $70 billion. So I would suggest that they are probably in better financial situation to pay Harbaugh what he wants. So we'll see. We'll see if his relationship with the Colts and Irsay is so strong that he decides to come here. I think he would be bat crap crazy to come here, because I think this is, and I wrote this the other day, I think this is the most dysfunctional program, team, franchise in all of NFL, the NFL. So I think he'd be crazy, but hey.
And how did they get there, Bob? They weren't. This used to be the exact opposite. They were. I know I'm going back and when you're talking about having the great GM and Peyton Manning and all that, when that was rolling, and they seemed to make all the right decisions, and then this train has just driven, and it's like it's just went off a cliff. And it's. I thought that potentially the Jeff Saturday thing was a way to tank without appearing to tank, but it's when you watch the team basically quitting in games. I hate to use I got to give him credit. Dan Dockage sent this tweet out. It was a retweet, but the Colts were getting outscored 90-10 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
That is absolutely the epitome of quitting.
That's pretty damning. Look, bringing Saturday in was basically Irsay lost trust in Reich, which is why he fired him, and he lost trust in Ballard, and he's not going to fire Ballard because he's making a lot of money. He doesn't want to pay two guys to do nothing till 2026. So he decided, the hell with it, I'm going to stand up and make these big decisions. And those big decisions were to go with Sam Ehlinger early in the season, to fire Frank Reich afterwards, to hire Jeff Saturday against the wishes of Chris Ballard and some other people in the organization. And here you go. This is what you get.
And one of the things that is interesting to me, Bob, is you look at the Colts, and we've talked about this, and I know you've been adamant about this, that the Colts have to draft a quarterback. It's time to stop playing, get off the carousel basically and get your guy for the future. My question to you is, the offensive line has also been abysmal this year. Is there going to be, you've got to fix a lot of things with this team right now. I don't know if just simply drafting the quarterback is gonna give you what you want. I have concerns that if they don't fix things on the offensive line, it could be potentially a wasted draft pick. So do you think it's a lock that they get a quarterback in the draft? Okay.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that it's going to be either Bryce Young, who's probably going to go number one to Houston. Then it's going to come down to Stroud and Levis and who they fall in love with. I guess in theory, Anthony Richardson could be a guy that they look at late, if they trade down. But I don't see that happening. I think they're going to stay right where they are. They're going to go get one of those three guys. The offensive line, you still got some good guys who played poorly. this year. But, Ryman, the left tackle, has been much better in the last 6 weeks. I mean, everybody knew he was going to be a project. He really wasn't supposed to be playing this much this year. They need a new right guard. I'm not sure it's as big a fix as some of the other areas of this team, but to me the biggest thing is Irsay's got to get the hell out of the way. Irsay has just got to let the football people do what the football people do, which is what he used to do. Right. He used to be a great owner who was basically a sounding board and something of a rubber stamp. But he was involved without being meddlesome. This year he's taken that jump, and he's been very much like his late father when it comes to being involved in the process. He's up in the football decisions.
With this job being not as attractive as it should be, and Jim Harbaugh is obviously has to be. We talked about him being someone that they have to chase. But what if that falls through? I know that everybody says, "Oh, I was talking to people, and he's not going anywhere." Yeah. I don't care what he said last year. This would not be the exact first time that a coach said, "I'm not going anywhere," and then they go somewhere. Right. So that doesn't mean jack. But let's say the Harbaugh thing doesn't work out, then where do they turn?
Well, I think you got to take a run at Sean Payton, who will not come here because there's no quarterback and no stability and a lot of front office maneuvering. There's no way he comes here. I think then you go to the second level guys, D'Amico Ryans, defensive coordinator in Houston, Shane Steichen in Philly. I think they're going to end up with one of those secondary guys. Look, there's only 32 of these jobs. Guys are going to line up for them. My point the other day was none of the big guys are going to take this damn job. And if I'm wrong, you can replay this 1,000 times, and I'll mea culpa, till the cows come home. But that's kind of where it stands. I think they're going to get one of the secondary guys.
A name that's been popular in the past couple seasons, whether it's been for an NFL job or a college job, has been Eric Bieniemy. Is there any chance they go after him?
I think there is because, you have the relationship with him and Ballard, but there's something with Eric Bieniemy that I don't know. Whether it's his ability to interview or something in his personal life or something football related, I don't know. But there is a reason why Eric Bieniemy has interviewed for just about every job in the last 3 years and has not come up with a job as head coach. So I don't see it happening, but you never say never.
And so now a team that has so much to fix, and if they end up with a second-tier guy, what good have you actually done? Well, what good will firing Frank Reich actually have done now if you end up being and continue being in a lesser position than you were?
Well, you look, a guy like Shane Steichen or D'Amico Ryans could end up being fabulous coaches. We don't know. I mean, they haven't been head coaches, so they may just be fine. I mean, the big thing is they got to get the quarterback thing straightened away. And, sadly, I think this is going to be a bit of a rebuild. I think it's going to, once in a while a rookie comes in like an Andrew Luck and you go 11-5 and it's a miracle. But you go back to Peyton Manning in 1998, they were 3-13, and he set the NFL record for most interceptions thrown by a rookie quarterback with 28, which is a record that he desperately wants somebody to.
Yeah, I wish you could go on the Peyton and Eli cast on Monday nights. I'm sure Eli loves bringing that up. They love.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know where it goes from here, but it starts with the quarterback. I still think they need some help at wide receiver. They need some help on the offensive line. They need help at tight end. Jelani Woods has made some nice strides, but I don't know if he's the guy long term. He might be. The weird thing with Jelani is he had a breakout game and then he didn't play for 3 games. So go figure that one out.